So hello everyone. Welcome if you are new to the channel, and welcome back if you love me. I love you too. We are here today for the full moon in Libra, Unleashing Balance secret code name event readings. If you're not familiar with secret code names and what they are, individuals purchase these readings via my Etsy shop, and these are their personal readings, but they get a secret code name. Now they know what secret code name is theirs, so they know which reading is theirs, but you can resonate to one of them. That's why I love these readings. You can be drawn to a secret code name, and because we're all connected, chances are there's a message in there for you. All right, so if you would ever like your own secret code name reading, my Etsy link is in the description. All right. Now this reading I am pre-recording. I came home from work yesterday and fell asleep at around 5:30. Passed out for about 6 hours and woke up at 11 p.m. So being unable to fall asleep, I kind of had the feeling that I would not want to do this live after work at 4:30. So I will have been up at 16, 18, somewhere in there hours. I don't want to do math right now. Long time. So I'm recording this now. It is around 3 o'clock in the morning on the day of the full moon, and it is premiering for you. So there should be a live chat that you guys could talk to each other in. You can leave me comments underneath the video. Let me know which secret code name you were drawn to, if it resonated. You can thank the people that made this event possible, those who have purchased the readings, especially if you were drawn to one and then the message served you. You can leave a thank you in the comments for them. Also drop a like and hit subscribe if you would like to get more messages from me throughout the months. And we're going to get right into it. So timestamps will be in the comments at some point. This way you can go back and rewatch and hop around if you like. Okay, so I'm using my Rider-Waite Tarot today. I'm also using my Mirror of the Soul Tarot today. And I'm going to be pulling from my Love Your Inner Goddess deck by Alana Fairchild for some guidance. Starting with Sailing. That is the first secret code name. Then Standing Still, Begonias, and then High Speed. All right, so those are the 4 secret code names: Sailing, Standing Still, Begonias, and High Speed. If any of those secret code names jump out at you or you're drawn to any of them, like I said, there's most likely a message in there for you. All right, so secret code name, Sailing. With this unleashing of balance, Spirit. What does this unleashing of balance look like for secret code name Sailing and those who would be drawn to it in divine time, whenever they are actually meant to catch it? What is going on with the unleashing of balance? All right, give me 2 more. All right, 1 more. Bottom of the deck's the 8 of Swords. Top is the 9 of Cups. All right, clarities, please. What is going on with secret code name Sailing? That's crazy. I put that back in my deck upright and it came out reversed again. It's in a mood, I guess. Which I don't actually mind. I mean, it's the 10 of Wands. It's better in reverse anyway. So what is going on? Clarities, please, Spirit. Okay. Unleashing the balance. Balance being energetic debts paid, lessons learned, right? Being able to move forward in alignment from that which was misaligned. I've got the Five of Cups clarified by the Seven of Wands. The Fool clarified by the Ten of Wands reversed. The Five of Coin clarified by the Tower. The World clarified by the Devil. The Queen of Cups clarified by the Knight of Cups. And the Four of Wands clarified by the Hermit. Top and bottoms of the decks. We have the Nine of Cups and the Princess of Cups on the tops. And the Eight of Swords and the High Priestess on the bottom. I'm getting this visual, and it's metaphoric, of like extending a rose. It's like how an olive branch, like extending an olive branch represents like peace. Extending the rose, I feel like it's an extension of love, right? It may be something that intuitively you've known you've had to do, but have been felt rather stuck concerning it. Or intuitively, I think you already know that it's going to force a reinvention into your own inner stability. I think there was something left with bad blood. Where maybe you were defending yourself and your choices. That you took a leap of faith on something to get out of energetic oppression that you were dealing with. And were essentially left without. All right, you were actually left feeling injured, which might have blindsided you. I don't think you actually expected when you took a leap of faith on the choice you made, right? Because the choice you made may have felt freeing. The choice you made may have felt very light in the act of it or the pursuit of it. But it left you in what is essentially an injured state, right? Energetically injured. And I think it took you by surprise. And now, right now, we're closing this cycle on toxicity. We're closing this cycle on attachment. We're closing this cycle on what could be looked at as obsession, even if you wouldn't necessarily coin it that way, right? Something that has been potentially excruciatingly persistent because you were left wounded. You didn't expect it. You didn't expect to be the one that ended up being put out. Like you're the third party. You know what I mean? Like you did not expect that. Really, the way I'm reading this Five of Cups, it's like you're sad. Because I think maybe you're realizing that you were in fact a third party and not the soulmate. And you're staring at the fact that it wasn't in the cards. Because you were the one left injured. You were the one left wounded. And now we're closing cycles on toxicity. the Queen of Cups with the Knight of Cups. Like this Queen of Cups and Rider-Waite is holding an urn. So it's something that's dead that the emotions are still attached to. And this wanting to reach out, right? That extension of love, that extending the rose. I think it's interesting with the Four of Wands clarified by the Hermit card, because the Four of Wands is like a union energy, but the Hermit is a solo energy. So it's literally like a solo union. I think you went on a journey, especially if you did feel like you had a divine connection with someone, in order to find your own snakes, right? In order to find your own demons, because that's essentially what the Hermit does, right? He's going through in the dark night with his light, finding the snakes, finding the inner threats, right, that come out and bite us later. The Hermit is where we go within and find our energetic or perception or belief flaws. I think if you were to reach out to someone and extend a rose, that you would really clearly see that maybe you were the third party. And that maybe this was a very big lesson, karmic lesson for you, or karmic cycle for you that maybe has repeated for a while, that needed to close. So sailing, you know, it's almost like sailing off to a new world kind of thing. This is a new reality. What kind of guidance do we have, Spirit? For secret code name Sailing. Rockstar. It says, I am a million different things that at a million different times. I am me with no apologies. I think you made choices that were authentic for your healing. I think they're authentic to you and the time to get you where you are here, you know, listening to this reading. I don't think you were acting in misalignment in whatever the past situation was. But I think the perspective shift is necessary. Even if the perspective shift is just acceptance of it, right? Acceptance of the perspective, whether it is the actual reality, right, in all actuality, or just a perception that needs to be embraced for humbleness, right? For humbleness, that what if this whole time I thought I was right, but really it was just the universe loving me and teaching me? What if this is the actual perspective, right? What if this is the actual reality? What if this was the actual healing? You know what I mean? It's accepting the what if I was wrong, right? Or the what if I've been connected to something or attached to something or ruminating on something for so long that injured me, thinking, you know, a certain way when I could, should, would be perceiving it differently. So card number 9, really my ear is like freaking high pitch ringing right now, like crazy ringing. So Rockstar. It says you may have a subconscious fear of being judged or becoming the target of jealousy that causes you to shy away from the limelight. You may mistakenly believe that being in the spotlight means you are supposed to be perfect or better than everyone else. There is a higher purpose in standing apart from the crowd and being seen. Choose to accept the opportunities that make you more visible to others, trusting that you will shine your truth and integrity to make it a positive and healing experience for yourself and for others too. There's a light in you that wants it needs to be seen, a side of you that is bold, bright, and unique, even if it's something different for you, or you aren't sure how comfortable you are going to be on center stage. Sometimes there's a higher purpose for you being placed in the spotlight. One purpose can be to develop self-acceptance and self-confidence. Then you can rock your true self without having to tone it down, play it safe, or rein it in. You can become so comfortable in your own skin that you no longer hide your inner divine beauty. Maybe others will then become less afraid to be themselves because you have shown them that being cool is about being cool with who you are, refusing to be stereotyped by people with insufficient imagination. There's power in the freedom of not fitting in. You, rather than someone else, get to decide how you want to live your life. Relish it. Be creative with it. You are meant to be free to express yourself authentically and to be seen doing it. So claim your inner rock star and strut your soul stuff in this world. You know, this card asking you to really be in your own light, right? To dance to the beat of your own drum, so to speak, right? Rock star. Letting go of the judgment, right? Which is how this card opened up, this fear of being judged. Allow yourself to be really open. Like, your path is your path, and your path has helped you in so many ways. Like, don't be ashamed of any of the choices that you've made that got you here, but rather embrace them fully because you've grown a lot, right, through the process. Give yourself permission to shift, give yourself permission to change, right? Being a million different things at a million different times. Like, who you were then may have been who you were then, but who you are now is who you are now. And who you are tomorrow is who you are tomorrow. And who you are 10 years from now is who you are 10 years from now. Give yourself permission to be transformative, right? Because even on this card, it has like the butterfly wings. Allow yourself to shift. Especially if you ended up injured, like, this might be the perfect time to come back and recognize the fact that you're not injured anymore. That you don't have to remain injured, that injured is a mindset, that hurt by others is a mindset. By being afraid to take on something new. Because it's talking about being in the spotlight. Like, maybe your attachment to whatever it is keeping you in the shadow or on the sidelines, right? The wallflower, out of the eyes of people. It's become your protective shield. And maybe it's because you're afraid of getting hurt again, right? Because you left the situation injured. And maybe you've held on to it because, you know, at one point it was you defending yourself and your release from oppression. And so it's, you know, something that felt really good at one time only to leave you injured. And I feel like the fear of going back out into the spotlight and potentially feeling this way again and getting hurt is the fear, which might be why you've been so attached to it for so long. Now realizing that maybe you are in fact a third party or a third energy in the healing of other people. And that you've been holding on to it out of fear. But you know, we're human. I can't blame you. You know what I mean? I can't blame you. If you thought that something was the absolute end-all be-all and it was the best thing that you've ever felt, and you felt free and you felt light and you felt like your most authentic, wonderful self, only to get hurt, like, I get it. But this is about you know, the balance of things, and maybe you've been in such a pain cycle for so long. In order to balance it, you have to let yourself be free from it. All right. That secret code name, Sailing. All right. Secret code name, Standing Still. Secret code name, Standing Still. Spirit, please. What is the unleashing of a balance for secret code name, Standing Still, and those who would be drawn to it at this time? What is the insight for secret code name, Standing Still, and those who would be drawn to it at this time, in divine time, whenever they're meant to catch it? What is the message coming through to help them unleash the balance, right? The balance of karma, or whatever you want to call it, right? Energetic debts. What is the insight for Standing Still? Got the Seven of Wands. The Eight of Coin. The Ace of Wands. The Eight of Cups. The Nine of Wands. Give me one more. And the Devil. Bottom of the deck is the Four of Coin. Top of the deck is the Empress. All right. Clarities, please. Clarities, please. We've got the Ten of Swords. What else? The Two of Swords reverse, Six of Coin reverse. The Judgment card. The Princess of Swords. And one more. All right, two more. Three more. The Queen of Wands with the Six of Swords and the Seven of Wands. Bottom of the deck is the Seven of Cups. Top of the deck is the King of Cups. Empress and the King of Cups are on the tops. Four of Coins and the Seven of Cups are on the bottoms. Okay, so listen. Standing Still. I feel like you're emotionally intelligent. Okay. Empathic. I think that you pick up on the emotions and the emotional needs of others really easily. But I think you're holding on. I think you're holding on to a very emotionally confused state. The Seven of Cups in this deck is debauch. Okay. Especially if it's concerning a lover that you may have real chemistry with, all right, that you may have poured a lot into. The Ace of Cups and the Ace of Wands under that. I feel like you were defending someone who was betraying you. Or defending someone who you were defending the relationship with them, but they were sabotaging it. Like they weren't fighting for it the same way you were. I think you were putting a lot of effort into something that wasn't actually giving you peace. There was no reciprocity here. The Six of Coins is about reciprocity. It's the Success card. I think that you felt this energetic connection, right? This chemistry or alchemical heightened passion connection with someone, and it wasn't reciprocal. I think you have to make the judgment call to move forward. The Eight of Cups clarified by judgment. Like this person has, or situation, right? Take it as it resonates. A person or situation has given you no other choice but to completely make that call and move forward. Yeah, you reached a point where you had enough. The Wounded Healer, right? Chiron energy with the Nine of Wands. Knowing that you have more in you, but that a lot of your resource, your energetic resource, was drained, and actually feeling the need to potentially lash out from a wounded place, which I would advise against. Okay, we typically don't want to communicate from a place of feeling wounded. Communicate from a place of empowerment all day. But I feel like communicating to someone that they've hurt you, I think it's going to fall. I think that would fall on deaf ears with the Devil here. The Queen of Wands with the Six of Swords and the Seven of Wands. I feel like because this energy is clarifying the fucking Devil. If this is about a relationship dynamic for you, I think they have already moved on to something else. Something or someone else. I'm hearing like the next unfortunate victim, right, of this Devil energy. This person may have really strong Aryan energy. In their chart, right? It may be a significant Aries placement. It could be Aries Mars, Aries Venus, Aries nodes, Sun, Moon, Rising, right? Could have Aries Lilith. I mean, they could have really significant Aries placements. And I'm feeling like it may have even affected placements in your own chart. That's what drew you to this person. The chemistry of it all. Because Aries, like Aryan energy, they have great chemistry, like physical chemistry. They exude that type of energy that's sexually attractive, right? They just have this energy. I think that you were kind of ensnared by it. ultimately, I think they're toxic. Unfortunately, like this Aryan energy ruling the house of self, like it's a very solo energy. They have a very difficult time committing if they don't have other placements in their chart challenging that energy or easing or curbing that energy. You know, sometimes they will have strong Cancerian placements that challenge that headstrong, very self-centered energy, right? And allows them to be more nurturing. Or they have strong Libran placements, right? That oppose that energy and make them more partnership oriented. Or they have strong Capricornian energy, right? That allows them to make higher decisions for themselves, right? But I feel like with this person or this situation, I think you were defending someone that you may have gotten caught up in the energetic connection and weren't necessarily reading the writing on the wall for the reality that it was. Like this person probably had a million red flags too. It could be, and I'll use an example, like someone that will text you and hit you up when they want sex or something like that. And they could come off charming or interested, and you might be so excited, you know, that they reached out and that they want to come over or want you to come over and be with them, but they were never emotionally involved. You were. You know what I mean? Like they were just in it for the sex type thing. They were never actually emotionally involved like you were. And you may have been truly the Empress, like the one that got away in hindsight. Especially if this devil energy reaches out and wants to like move forward with you and defend themselves or excuse why they were behaving such a way. I don't actually feel like this person is changed though. I do feel like this person is probably like a non-committal person in general. Like a serial commitment phobe. They don't commit. But yet they keep hooks in people via like sexual connections. Because they have that fiery, passionate energy. Yeah, lots of chemistry, no reciprocity. Putting in a lot of work, but you're not actually getting a lot of peace. You might have been high anxiety throughout the dynamic. You may have been worried a lot throughout the dynamic. You may have been insecure throughout the dynamic because they weren't giving you security. They weren't giving you reassurances. They weren't giving you loyalty or commitment. You know what I mean? And so you're in this constant state of trying to achieve what this person is not capable of giving. I think you're emotionally mature, emotionally intelligent. And I think you read this person really clearly on what their emotional needs were. However, they are not like you. And they were not reading your emotional needs or interested in reciprocating and giving back to you what you needed in exchange for what they needed and that you were giving to them. Which is frustrating because I feel like you gave great fucking energy. King of Cups, Empress energy. I think you gave great energy. I think you know you did. So why this person didn't take you up and commit to it is like fucking mind-boggling for you. Like, how could you have an Empress in front of you? How could you give the nurturer in front of you, the emotionally intelligent person in front of you, fucking bullshit? Well, because they're bullshit, right? Their energy is bullshit. What's the guidance, please, Spirit? I think the longer you hold on to this confused state, the more detrimental this energy becomes. I think you need to be really, right, standing still. I think you need to be really still in your own energy and not feed this energy. I don't think you should be moving forward with this energy. I think you need to maybe take a step back and take them for face value. Like, take a moment, pause, reflect, and take them at face value. Like, who are they at face value with you? What is the guidance, please, Spirit? For secret code name Standing Still. We'll take the one that flipped up. Spirit Warrior. Be brave and true. So let's read some of this for you. All right, Spirit Warrior. It says, you are earning the right to make significant progress in your life. The universe will make certain you are ready for the breakthrough by testing your spiritual maturity. The universe wants to make sure that we are wise enough to use our increased power and any other blessings wisely and not to hurt ourselves or others. Even if no one else knows about it, will you behave with integrity and be true to yourself? Will you be kind even when you could be in the position to judge another? Be the best human you can be and know that any tests you are going through are actually predictions of positive changes and divine gifts headed your way. Integrity means being true to yourself. It doesn't matter what anyone else says about it or if their values are different to yours. When you are becoming a spirit warrior, you are learning to stand up and fight with love for what matters to you. Sometimes it can seem like spirit warriors need to live to a higher standard than others. When you need to be the better person in a situation, it's been set up that way by the universe because you can actually be that person. Not everyone is capable of that. The heavier load falls upon the stronger shoulders, but the more spiritual responsibility we have, the more we are helped to succeed. The path of the spirit warrior may not seem to be the easiest path sometimes, but actually it is easier in the long term because not liking or respecting yourself actually leads to a tragic loss of soul. Our soul brings us creative fire, passionate purpose, and love so strong we want to heal the world, as well as spiritual connection and so much more. It is worth the effort to safeguard it by living in a way that is honorable and respectful. If that means living to a standard that is spiritual rather than ordinary, then that's okay. It's a more beautiful and special way to live anyway. So, fight the good fight, spirit warrior. Great things are headed your way, and you are showing yourself worthy and ready for greater success. Yeah, being the bigger person. You know, like when I was saying earlier that this energy kind of makes me feel like you want to lash out from a wounded state, like being the bigger person is recognizing that energy, and that's not actually true to who you are. You don't actually feel good being that person. Being the one that's lashing out, being the wounded person, being the victim, right, doesn't actually hold true to your integrity. You're a good person. So having someone bring you down to their level and making you ugly and be ugly then and act out of character, that's their level. It's not yours. So the best thing you can do being the bigger person, if you have nothing nice to say, don't say anything at all. if this person were to reach out to you, just don't answer. You don't actually have anything nice to say to this person. When you take them for face value and reflect on the situation for what it was, there's nothing nice you can actually say to this person. So don't say anything to them. Just continue on in your life. And if, you know, you're the one that got away, then you're the one that got away. And that's their lesson. You know, that's their lesson. You don't have to be ugly and, you know, lash out, because they're just going to receive that and be like, yeah, well, that's why I didn't, you know, commit to this person, because they're mean or they're crazy or they're whatever. And it's only going to validate to them why they are the way they are and why they don't commit to people and why they continue to hurt people, because they don't realize that their actions are pushing healthy people to act crazy. They don't realize that their behavior is pushing sound people to irrational behavior, right? Everybody's like that. No, not everybody is like that. You push everybody to that place. You know what I mean? And they don't realize it. So talking to this person, it's like no compute. Like they don't see themselves, and they don't see the value in other people. So to lash out at this person, they're only going to twist it in their own favor anyway, to be who they are. But if you go silent, just dead silent, like no more, they don't have anything to validate other than their reflection of it. Well, they were always nice to me. They were always considerate of me. They were always there for me. And that's the only memory they have. They don't have any memory that you gave them of being crazy. They don't have any memory of you like telling them to fuck off and telling them they're a piece of shit and telling them whatever, like everybody else, like, and that's why people are crazy, you know, like they don't have, you're not giving them that memory. You're not giving them the ability to twist it. So my advice, if this resonated with you, act like they never fucking existed. Go on with your life. Recognize them for the toxicity they were. Send prayers of love and support to them, because they don't know how to treat people. They're not emotionally intelligent. They're not emotionally intelligent. And that's a shame. That's sad, because they don't really realize how they're hurting people. They don't realize how they're hurting people. And you can't necessarily teach them either. So be the bigger person and just make that call to move forward and stay forward, and don't ever look back. Don't ever look back. Remember who you are and the value of you. The value of you, and just because they didn't see it, well, that's their fucking loss. You stay in your integrity. You know, you stay who you are and learn. Like, people that give the same red flags this person did, like, you will not make the same mistake again. You know, after pouring into a person and defending a person that was never going to end up being what you saw in them. You know? You're going to see that someone that only hits you up and always wants to, you know, mess around is non-committal. You're going to see that, you know, someone who only texts you back when it's convenient for them and they want something, and they're not answering you for however long, you know, at a time, and, oh, sorry, they have excuses, I was just busy. Like, they're not fucking considerate. They don't actually care about how you're doing. They're only hitting you up to see you, and then once they see you, they're using you, and then they don't care for however long until they want what they want again. Yeah, learn from the red flags, and as soon as someone fucking starts showing them, just be like, yeah, you're not for me. And keep your healthy boundaries. Go ghost, right? Don't respond. Don't respond. Someone's fucking showing you red flags. I don't think not responding will be difficult, because I've been there, done that. So, moving forward. Secret code name Begonias. Spirit, please. In the pursuit of unleashing balance, right? That the karmic debts would be paid, energetic debts paid. That karma would be cleared because the balance has been restored. What is this looking like for secret code name Begonias and those who would catch it in divine time whenever they're meant to catch it? What is going on with secret code name Begonias? Give me 2 more. And give me 1 more. All right, 2 more. Bottom of the deck is the Ace of Cups. Top of the deck is the 2 of Coin. All right, clarities, please. One more. Bottom of the deck is the Queen of Cups. Top of the deck is the King of Swords. I think you've put yourself in a protective shield. I think you are in the process of cutting cords with certain people. I think you've been juggling some things for a while. And that Spirit's about to come through with a big surprise, and probably a good one. I feel like it's momentous and it's going to push you forward and give you a choice to make. Something that's a high manifestation. Really, triple kings on the bottom. Try not to be in your head about it. Like, listen to your intuition. I feel like you're defending your healing with the Star card and the 7 of Wands. I think you've reached a pinnacle in your spiritual process. I think that you're cutting things off without necessarily saying too much. I think you're just kind of in this action mode, taking steps towards your happily ever after vision. I think if you continue in the mindset that you're putting in the work, you may miss an opportunity, because I don't think you're necessarily giving credit to the work you've already done, which is driving some kind of manifestation. I think you need to give yourself credit where due, like hardcore. Because I feel like I feel like you're in this mode of protecting yourself. I think that there's a chance that you may be afraid to move forward with an Emperor energy, right? Triple Kings, then we have the Emperor on the bottom of this one. Like, I'll put it like this. We don't have to be in mint condition to find somebody happy, healthy, and whole. Matter of fact, we tend to find a great person for us or a great situation for us after we've acknowledged that we've had bleeding wounds and simply stopped the bleeding. That we've stopped the bleeding. Because we're still afraid that the stitches might reopen. You know what I mean? We're still afraid that, you know, if we're mishandled, we could be wounded all over again and need to reclose the wounds. But I think that if we waited for the wound to be completely healed, that we might actually miss the opportunity because, you know, we're like, no, we have more healing to do. No, we have more healing to do. When really the healing process, the better energy, the better manifestation started the minute you decided to close the wound, the minute you got it to stop bleeding. You don't have to be in mint condition. You just have to accept the fact that you were in fact wounded and that wound is now healing. It stopped bleeding. It's not, you know, continuing to be a problem. The problem has been resolved. It's just a matter of time now, right? It's just a matter of time. I think that you're probably going to end up coming into alignment with someone that is going to have a lot of doors to open. It might happen relatively quickly. They might be compassion extending a place of residence. And I think it would be wise to seize the opportunity with beginner's mind and move forward in your own sovereignty, like not necessarily letting your emotions get wrapped up in it, but to at least start from a very innocent beginner's place with it, with the pages, the 3 pages that we have out here. Allowing yourself to accept that you are no longer, that your wounds, right, are no longer an actual problem. Time will heal them. It doesn't mean you can't take a step forward. You just make sure that, you know, if your heart has fresh stitches, you're not handing it off to someone else. It doesn't mean you can't make moves, though, because in time, those stitches are going to, you know, be removed or not be an issue, right? You won't need the stitches there anymore. Your heart will be fine. So allow yourself to make moves, but have moves with healthy boundaries so that you don't end up getting ripped back open. You know what I mean? Just because you take a step forward doesn't mean you have to take the next one right away. It doesn't mean you have to take the one after that right away. It doesn't mean you have to go running up the staircase. You know, you can just simply take one step at a time. And if the staircase, you know, you've been moving too fast up it, you know, and you need a breather, then you can take a breather. You know what I mean? Like, pace yourself. Pace yourself. I think something is coming in to truly balance the scales for you. And that the only one that can actually miss it is you. Like, the only reason why you would miss it is because you chose outright to miss it. But I think you're going to get a nice opportunity to let something build or grow or mature into something else. Like, in the moment, it's almost like someone being attracted to you and offering you some kind, or your energy, right? Just being attracted to you in general. You know, their soul recognizes your soul as someone that they want to, you know, continue to move forward with. And maybe you're not really interested in them. Maybe you're not really attracted to them. And you're just like, no, you know, whatever. And, you know, But I think cutting it off too soon and not giving that person the opportunity to kind of grow on you as you're going through the healing of whatever wounds you have, like as they heal over, I feel like somebody or some situation might actually really end up growing on you if you allow it the opportunity to do that. What's the guidance, please, Spirit? What is the guidance, please, Spirit, for secret codename Begonias? Yeah, I feel like Spirit's overflowing the cup for you right now. Or is about to. I think something is unleashing for you, literally, with this full moon. And I think, you know, we've got the Star here. We've got the 10 of Cups here. We've got the 10 of Coins here. Like, Ace of Cups. Like, I think we've got some really great energy. And don't feel like you're not ready to at least take one step forward. We don't have to see the whole staircase, right? We just have to see the next step. We don't have to see the whole staircase. We just have to take the next step. Just the first step. Warrior Goddess. Card number 25. We are all made of stars. That's what's wrapped on her headdress. All right. So card 25. It says, this is not a time to play it safe, nor is it time to allow another to take the lead in your life. You need to believe in yourself and trust that your instincts guiding you are correct. If you need to take action, do it. Speak up. Say yes, say no. Trust your inner truth completely and be bold. The universe will answer your boldest actions with affirmation, and you'll move through the consequences of your actions with grace and courage, ending up exactly where you need to be. You are ready. Life has been preparing you. Your experiences have made you stronger and wiser. You have spirit and you have courage. Believe in yourself. You are a warrior goddess, an empowered divine woman. Trust that your foundations are strong. Put your faith in the universe. It has been your life coach and guide all along, helping you build up your inner resources, encouraging you to realize the power that has always been within you. The universe believes in you. When you feel it is time to take a step, take it with confidence. When you ask for help from the universe, ask with boldness and total confidence that your prayers will be answered in the best possible way. You have the right to require that your personal space be respected. You have divine permission and encouragement to claim your rightful place in the world. You are meant to say no to behavior that is dishonest, manipulative, and bullying. The warrior goddess uses her sacred anger to set boundaries and to speak her truth, but not to attack another. She uses her inner fire to live with integrity, even if the right choices for her seem hard or frightening at the time. She knows that the universe has her back, so she is willing to be true to herself no matter what. She places integrity above all else, and she knows that compromising her self-respect to win a battle will end up losing her the war. You are allowed to take the first step. Trust your intuition. Fear will pop into your mind. But if your gut's kind of telling you to take someone up on something, take it, see where it goes. And just because you take the first step doesn't mean you have to, race up the stairs. Keep healthy boundaries. Like, yeah, you're willing to do this, but are you willing to do that? No, right? Say yes when you want to say yes. Say no when you're meant to say no. Listen to your gut. Be bold. If you need to call on the universe and say, hey, is this in my highest alignment? Like, trust that your prayer will be answered, or you'll receive an answer in the best way. A way that you can trust, right? So, yeah. Take a step forward if you are guided to step forward. Yeah, I don't think you need to miss an opportunity. Especially if it's a really good one. Because it does look like a really good one. Just saying. All right. Last but not least, secret code name, High Speed. Let's get a good shot on these cards. All right, Spirit. Secret code name, High Speed. And those who would be drawn to this message. Be careful not to actually speed while you're driving. Just make sure you're taking your time and you're not rushing anywhere, rushing in traffic. Be a very conscious, defensive driver, okay? Just intuitive side note. All right, Spirit, what is going on? With secret code name High Speed and those who would be drawn to it in divine time. All right. Give me one more. Bottom of the deck is the Tower. Top of the deck is the Ace of Swords. All right. Clarities, please. All right, two more. More than two. All right, bottom of the deck is the Ten of Cups. Top of the deck is the Six of Wands. All right, the truth is victory. And the dream becoming a reality may come via a surprise or a shocking situation with the Tower, right? We've got the Ace of Swords and the Six of Wands on the tops and the Tower and the Ten of Cups on the bottoms. Four of Wands is in the same position on the bottom of each deck. All right. I think initially And the unleashing of balance, right, or the balancing of debts, karmic debts, energetic debts, soul contracts. Unleashing balance. I feel like initially something may occur that feels like a burden, right? The Death card with the 10 of Wands. There may have been some kind of ending or some kind of transformative experience that created a lot of burden. And from it may have manifested what feels like poverty. Even if you yourself are not impoverished, it may have been costing you a lot. It might have been crippling, okay? It might have been financially crippling. Whatever this transformation was, right? It may have been financially crippling. It's been a burden. Which may have been a divine call based on your own toxicity, especially if you are or aren't aware of it. But ultimately, with the Judgment card and the Devil, I'm feeling as if I feel like there's more to the situation than just your bit of it. So I think you took the initial hit, right? Feeling this lack, right? This crippling. I think you took the initial hit, but that ultimately, whatever true toxic there is, I think Judgment's going to reign on the real toxicity here. Like, you may have had your own karma to be dealt with a situation, but that ultimately whatever toxic was behind it is the one that's going to reap the ultimate judgment. I think that you're going through an alchemical process here, helping you see things from a different perspective, a divine perspective, how maybe being tangled up in toxic keeps us upside down. Being tangled up in toxic people. Being tangled up in toxic people. People that are energetically unhealthy. They disturb your peace or they cripple your energy. This may, with the Judgment card, have been a pattern for you. Investing in toxic people, which is why the universe may have manifested what is essentially a very crippled reality for you. Like, when you invest in toxic is what ends up the universe's investment in you, right? It gives you situations that are crippling. And I think if you want to bring it into balance, then you really do have to see it from that perspective. Like, Spirit loves a big heart, but at the end of the day, it doesn't want us investing in toxicity. It doesn't want us attaching to it. It's not healthy. Like, you're not, quote unquote, saving anybody. You're not, quote unquote, helping anybody, or quote unquote, loving someone into a better state of being by dealing with toxic and being the angel or the savior or the martyr, right, in their experience. It's not serving you to be like that. Like, Spirit wants us to see toxic and call toxic for toxic, like call a spade, and not deal with it, right? Choose to not do it. I think if you've invested in toxicity, it left you crippled. And that's the judgment, right? That's the judgment for your own attachment to toxicity. Now, with the 9 of Pentacles and the 3 of Swords, They came out clarified by the Ace of Swords, the Knight of Wands, the Lovers, the King of Cups, and the Two of Cups. I think things were super slow and super painful with someone. Possibly someone you were intimate with, because we have the Lovers here and the Two of Cups here. I think the truth is this person was reckless and emotionally closed off. And you may have felt like when you met this person, you were struck by Cupid's arrow. And this whole thing was a divine orchestration to teach you to stop dealing with toxicity. They may have been emotionally closed off or very emotionally cold. I don't feel like that's who you are. I feel like I need to pull more cards. What else? That you would guide me to this deck. One more shuffle. I've got the Knight of Pentacles twice. With the Three of Pentacles. Bottom of the deck is the Three of Cups. Top of the deck is the Queen of Swords. Libra energy. Got the Empress here. Venusian energy could also be Libra. It's typically Taurus, but it's Venus, so it's Libra's ruling planet. Got the World card here. Fixed energy. This was a very slow and long contract involving third parties. And the Six of Coins, that's that impoverished energy, taking from someone who has because you don't have it. The Empress can also be seen, right? Venusian energy as luxury. We have the Ten of Pentacles, which is typically a home card. It's in reverse. Yeah, this is an abundant manifestation. The cycle's closing on it. It's being released. Like, you've got to let the universe give back to you. You got to remember that you're worthy of receiving. And that you can receive it from healthy energy, right? Whether it's in yourself or healthy other people. You don't have to deal with toxic. To have what is essentially abundance. See, I think the universe actually wants you to feel happy. actually wants you to feel full, actually wants you to feel loved, like deeply loved. Which means it had to teach you that toxicity is the wrong way to go about getting those or receiving that vibration. Your own energy felt impoverished, felt crippled. Maybe toxic is something that's familiar or something that you're used to. But this is the universe letting you know, like, that's not acceptable. That's not acceptable. Being familiarized with toxicity and embracing and accepting toxicity is not acceptable. And anytime you pursue toxicity, you're going to end up with the tower. You're going to end up with this crippled feeling all over again. The universe is trying to push you to a place where you no longer tolerate what is essentially abuse, right? It was a burden. The abuse was burdensome. It left you crippled, energetically crippled, maybe realistically, like financially crippled. Like, be careful what you chase and go after. If you have a habit of being attracted to toxic people or abusive people, you gotta understand it's going to leave you crippled every time. Because the universe is going to be driving home this lesson, right? The high truth, the crowned truth. It's going to be driving home this lesson. Victory is an emotional fulfillment. You can't be conflicted about reciprocity. You can't be afraid to let someone love you. Maybe being loved is not familiar to you. Maybe being loving is, but being loved is not. And the universe wants being loved to become familiar to you. Which is why it's giving you this message. Right? Don't deal with toxic people, whether they're romantic soulmates or just soulmates that you deal with in your life in general. If they're toxic, please do not deal with them. They're going to end up crippling you in some which way, shape, or form. Don't deal with toxic. Trust in your own value. Yeah, Angel of Truth. We got the Angel of Truth. So let's read this for you. Card number 42. It says, the truth wants to be told, needs to be heard. It may seem like the whole world wants to believe in a lie, and so you wonder if you are crazy, if you are the only one who is thinking differently and desiring the real story to emerge. Yet those that fight against the truth are even more in need of it. There can be no healing and no freedom and no moving on without it. You are going to be blessed with truth being revealed, a realization about yourself that will bring relief. It will happen at the right time, and it will set your soul free. Sometimes the lies we are repeatedly told become so familiar that we forget that they are lies and begin to believe that they are real. Maybe it's someone judging us that is the lie. Maybe it's advertising in the media. Whatever the source, all untruth teaches us the same thing, that we must be afraid and hate each other. When we are fed so many false truths, it can become hard to remember what real truth feels like. It can even start to seem like the truth doesn't matter as much as being able to convince another person to accept your point of view. This is like poison for the soul. The soul needs truth like your body needs air. It keeps it alive. Deep in your soul, you know what is true, and you know when you or anyone else is not being truthful. You are sensitive enough to know that only truth feels good for you. You must give yourself permission to be truthful with your own soul and live honestly, authentically, and bravely in this world. It is the only way for you to really be you. The angel of truth comes to you with protection and encourages you to put your faith in truth because it will always shine stronger than any lie. You know, it's reminding me of this video that I caught. It was like a reel or a short or something on Facebook or YouTube. And it was about being a victim of abuse, psychological abuse, gaslighting, right? Manipulation, people that are quick to anger or temper, and how it literally changes our chemical response and our memory, that over time, our short-term memory starts to deteriorate and we start to doubt our ability to recollect things correctly, to where we are more easily manipulated, right? And more easily abused and taken advantage of, because the actual chemical change in the brain is taking place. And so it requires healing, right? It requires you to re-strengthen the part of you that trusts yourself. So if you have been in abusive relationships and then found yourself leaving one and going into another, or then leaving one and potentially going into another, it's because you haven't necessarily taken the time to trust your memory, to trust the way you heard someone say something, to trust the way that you feel it should be when it's not. You know, when someone is volatile, it becomes normal, and that's not necessarily normal. When someone tells you, no, that's not how I said it, or that's not what I said, and now you're questioning yourself and you're like, no, like I know what you said, and they continue to drum it in, and then you start to doubt yourself, and that becomes a new pattern, right? A new pattern of thought that, you know, you might be wrong when you weren't, right? So the truth is, if you've been a victim of abuse and toxicity, you might really need to take some time to reset and have faith in yourself again, right? That might take some serious time. You may, if you're not already, you may want to seek out actual therapy to help you process through all of it, so that you can establish healthier patterns of self-viewing, especially if you can get a hold of a therapist that specializes in those recovering from abusive people and abusive situations. Because I feel like if you're going to get out of this pattern, one, you have to trust yourself. You have to believe in your truth, right? You have to believe in your truth. And secondly, you can't let anybody talk you out of it, right? You can't let anybody talk you out of it. If something doesn't feel right or something's not acceptable, you can't allow someone to convince you that it is acceptable and that it is all right. You know what I mean? Because I feel like unless you make a real conscious effort to stop this cycle, to actually partner up with yourself, I feel like the toxicity pattern could persist and continue, right? So Yeah, that's the message. All right. So, that wraps it up. That wraps up the readings for the full moon in Libra. Definitely make sure to drop a like and leave a comment, especially if you've made it this far in the reading. Let me know how the readings resonated for you. Don't forget to hit subscribe just in case you haven't, and check out the description. I started a new Divine Rebel Diamond membership. It's only $5.99 a month. And you get exclusive content, you get weekly energy reports, you get a chance at personal readings on Sundays, as well as your own like monthly zodiac messages and things like that, outside from the ones I do publicly on the channel. So for $5.99, you really can't beat it. All right. I love you guys, and I will see you next time. Take care.